So here's my new model that I mentioned. Well, so far maybe I've just mentioned it in the comments section of one of my other videos. But it just arrived today, and I've kind of been anticipating this one a little more, simply because it's pretty different than most of the cars that I have in my collection already. I do have one car that's an older model than this one, but it was kind of following my tradition of my habit so far of collecting old race cars. Obviously, as you can see, this is a little bit different. But yeah, as you can see, it's another model by Maestro, and this one is the Mercedes Benz 500 K Typ Special Roadster. So, and that was from 1936. There's certainly some car shows, especially on the West Coast, that specialize in this type of car, and those are pretty amazing. I've never actually been to one of those shows in person, but I've seen them on TV a lot. And of course, lots of movies feature cars like this, if they're historical movies. You might even see a car like this in one of the Indiana Jones movies, since that deals with somewhat of the same time period, middle 30s. Those huge fenders are so shapely. You certainly don't see a lot of cars that are designed this way anymore. I see that they're releasing a movie now about another movie version, I should say, of The Great Gatsby. It's been a really long time since I've read that book, but I would imagine seeing one of these types of cars in that movie. I guess I'll have to go and watch the movie sometime and see if any of the budget that they've obviously spent on costumes and huge mansion parties and such, if it also got provisioned for nice autos like this one. So to show you a few little features of this model, as you can see, again, there's some neat moving parts. Things like this opens up, I guess this would be a trunk, as well as it's got some padding inside that matches the seats. So I suppose you could sit back there if you were small enough. Doesn't look that roomy back there. The doors open, and this being a more elegant car, I suppose you could say, or at least trying to be, they open this way. they now refer to sometimes as suicide doors. Old Lincolns sometimes still have these, usually for the back seat, but this way you can supposedly step right out of the car instead of sort of backwards. I don't know. I've never actually been in a car with doors like this, so I don't know if there's some benefit to doors opening this way. Here's another feature, the engine compartment. Look at that. Lots of detail. You can see all the cables for the spark plugs and such. Sorry if the camera's being noisy and refocusing there. But yeah, I think it's really cool that you have these gigantic engine block in here with this huge door that opens this way, and there's another one that opens the same way on the other side. I have to be a little careful with this because the other side has these little pipes coming out. But anyway, but yeah, I just love the detail. Considering, again, I mentioned this, this brand is always really good value. Sometimes I feel kind of stupid talking about that, but it is. It's amazing that these models are this detailed, and they don't ask a lot for it, so pretty amazing. So I do have to say though that the little plastic details are very delicate. These little lights that point forward, and I guess if you were sitting in the car you could point them in the direction that you wanted. The headlights, the little horns, the front bumper especially, is very, you can kind of see it moving there just from me lightly tapping it. So yeah, you would definitely not want to handle this model by the bumper. Same with the rear, these little pieces are not real sturdy. So, and there's also tailpipes coming out the back. So yeah, if you were to pick this model up, I would handle it by the metal. And these little plastic handles also are very delicate. I almost broke one of them already because this had a big piece of tape across it. It was just in the right position where to peel the tape off I bumped it into this. So yeah, gotta be very careful. So, but I just think the details on this car are really cool, and finally got some sort of a classic car for my collection. I really don't know how long or how big of a collection I'm gonna do. As a lot of collectors have said in other videos, it can get out of hand really quickly if you're not careful. Before you know it, you're trying to acquire every single car that you're interested in, and it does add up. And you'll also find that it can be difficult having space to display them. And I'm already running into that problem, even though I only have about 24 cars at this point. So, but I've seen videos of, I think there was a guy who had the most amazing collection I've ever seen. I mean, just his entire basement looked like it was filled with glass cases. Each one contained, I don't know, 50, 70 models of this size. And then he had stacks of these sorts of models in boxes as well. So I don't know how many models he owns, probably 400 or 500 at least. Yeah. Don't think I'll ever get to that point, but I guess you never know. I just think at some point, if the number of models gets that high, you could maybe spend some of that on a real car. Some sort of little race car or something you could fix up and that would give you some fun track time. I don't know, that's just me. I would rather get the fun of driving, but within reason, I do enjoy collecting as well. So, anyway, well, I think that's about enough time on this one. So, I do hope you enjoyed it, and I don't know, maybe if I can find some more interesting models of this sort, then I might look at getting another one. So, we'll see. Alright, well, enjoy.